Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing as always, and it's me Joe as always, and today I want to talk about a movie that really traumatized me as a kid, and honestly it's a great movie for sure, and it's also just one of the most weirdest films I've ever seen, if I'm being honest. This movie is called The Neverending Story. It's a fantasy movie from 1984, and it's based on a German novel. And, I gotta say that I am a big fan of the fantasy genre, and I remember this movie extremely well. I was basically recovering from a surgery I had, and I was like 7, 8 years old, and my mom brought me a DVD of this movie, and I was like, yeah, sure, I like fantasy movies. I'm gonna watch it, and I got traumatized by this one scene in the movie. Anyway, this movie stars Noah Hathaway as Atreyu, the main character of the book. You also got Barrett Oliver as Bastian Bucks, basically the kid that reads the book in the movie, and then you got a bunch of other characters. The story is about Bastian Bucks is a shy boy who lives with his widowed father. One morning, Bastian's father tells his son of his concern after hearing he daydreams in school, and tell Bastian he needs to stop. On his way to school, Bastian is chased by bullies and escapes by hiding in a bookstore. He meets the owner, Karl Conrad, and Bastian's interest in books leads him to ask him about the one he's reading, The Neverending Story. But he advises against reading it. With his curiosity piqued, Bastian secretly takes the book. Arriving at school late, Bastian hides in the building's attic to read. The book describes the world of Fantasia, a fantasy realm that is slowly being destroyed by a malevolent force called the Nothing. Messengers are heading to the Ivory Tower to seek help from the childlike Empress. To their dismay, they learn that she has fallen ill. The young warrior, Atreyu, is tasked with discovering a cure for her illness in order to save Fantasia. Atreyu is given an amulet called Orin that can guide and protect him in the quest. As Atreyu sets out, a wolf-like being named Gmork is sent to kill Atreyu. Atreyu's quest leads him to seek the advice of Morla, the Ancient One, in the swamps of Sadness. While making their way through the swamp, Atreyu's horse, Artax, is overcome by the sadness and sinks into the swamp, leaving Atreyu to continue alone. So, this is just like the first half of the movie, pretty much, the story of the first half. And this is the moment that just made me cry, and it just made me so sad, is when his horse dies in the swamp. It basically drowns, and it's just so sad, and frankly I remember this moment so well. It just burned into my mind pretty much. So this movie is pretty cool. What I really do like about this movie is the fact that obviously back in 1984 there was pretty much no CGI to speak of, so they pretty much had to go the practical route. So you get a lot of just great visuals, great characters, all made by hand, handcrafted. It's just awesome. A lot of puppeteering is involved, and overall it's just a really great movie. And again, it traumatized me. Like whenever I see the poster or hear about this movie, I just remember how traumatized I was by seeing that horse drown in the swamp. It was just fucked, if I'm being honest. But this movie sort of, thanks to, like, okay, some people nowadays are saying that the movies, the blockbusters that are coming out, the CGI in them has this sort of uncanny valley feeling to them. Like, it doesn't feel quite real, but they obviously mean it in a bad way, that it just looks bad. But this movie has this beautiful uncanny valley quality to it, that it's not disturbing, that it's not awful to look at. It's just interesting. It feels like a fantasy world that doesn't really exist, but it kind of does, because you can physically touch those monsters and those creatures. You just have that feeling like it's not CGI. That's something that I really hate about modern movies, by the way, is the amount of CGI and that it all looks like a cutscene from a video game. I'm not saying that's, a case with all movies nowadays, but a lot of movies, they really rely on CGI. And what I really like about this movie is the fact that everything feels sort of real. Like, you can really touch it, you can feel it, you can experience this world of Fantasia. It's just pretty cool. So yeah, this movie traumatized me as a child. It's a movie that has this beautiful uncanny valley feeling to it. And it's just a movie that I would really recommend if you are into fantasy movies. And it's beautifully shot, it's beautifully made, and a movie that, again, I would definitely recommend to watch. It's cool, Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care, and bye.